the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see a rematch from Super Bowl 12. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos, and it comes your way next.
Opened in 2001, it lies on the same site and retains the name of the city's beloved former stadium. We're here at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
To kick off, here's Will Lutz. And here we go at Mile High. Here's Kevontae Turpin on the return. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. So here come the Cowboys for their opening drive. Bringing them out is a Mississippi State fourth-round pick in 2016 who's found considerable success in this league, Dak Prescott.
I don't think I'm alone in this, Kate. To me, Dak is one of the easiest players to root for their success in the NFL. I think for me and for many others, it's based on all he's overcome, from tough playoff losses to significant injuries. But his leadership, his stats, his ability to play like an MVP in big moments, at his best, he really is all you could ever ask for.
It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good for a Cowboys first down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
And he gets up for a gain of about 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Dak now from the gun. Dumped off to his running back. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. He'll try and pick this up on the ground. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 4. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
You love a huddle? Kate, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
First down, and they go right back to him. And he's going to run this down to the 36-yard line. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense, and I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Offense already looking like they're in mid-game form. They've got it down to the 32. Here's Prescott, 1st and 10. Brought in by Jake Ferguson. And he goes out approaching that 10-yard line. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And that's good for a Cowboys first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
The Broncos never afraid to challenge calls, Brock, and they've got that red flag out there. We're all watching that sideline here, seeing where those feet came down.
And no matter what they rule here, Kate, that was an outstanding effort just to make the catch.
Yeah.
Now we got to look and see, did he get both feet in with possession?
All right, so that challenge is unsuccessful, but still a chance to earn a third one if their next challenge leads to an overturned call. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. First down, here's Dak. Finds a man, right side. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Here's Dak. Drops back. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense. And now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks. And sacks in this league often leads to wins.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. And in for the Dallas touchdown. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established in its top gear right here early on.
Brandon Aubrey now on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Cowboys will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. So the Broncos offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix entered this league as a grown-up. 61 college starts will do that for you. A ton of college experience. And Bo Nix is a facilitator. When he is at his best, that ball is in and out of his hands in an absolute hurry. If he were a point guard on a basketball team, he'd want to go up and down the court and get it out of his hands as quickly as he can. He's accurate, he's tough, he's experienced, and he's poised for this challenge of the NFL.
Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
And he'll take this up to about the 34 before he stopped. They get about 4 there, need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite out of the big meal between them and the first down marker, and that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 22 on that one, and that'll be good for a Denver first.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Play action with Nix. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And the Broncos will have a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Nix off the play action. Has it at the 7. Touchdown, Denver! Well, whether he stays the go-to guy the entire game, we will all judge together. But no doubt about it, on that opening drive, Brock, he was the star. Bunch of catches and a touchdown to begin this one.
Yeah, I think this is twofold. Number one, you love to get this guy started early. He's a playmaker. He's a difference maker. Number two, this defense, well, they better be on high alert because this offense feels like they have a matchup they can attack, and that time attack a third time for 6.
Will Lutz now on for the extra point. And the kick is good. And we're going to have some extra yardage added to the kickoff on the roughing call. So they tag him for roughing the kicker. And now this kickoff's going to come from the 50. Let's see if they loft in and try to stick him deep. Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Back out come the Cowboys for their second drive. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run the counter. And he works his way for a gain of 4. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. Second and 6 coming up here. They give it to him again. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. It's Pickens on the slant. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Prescott here from the gun. Makes the grab inbounds left side. There it is. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys break the tie here in the first. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period. Yeah. End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. The point after splits the uprights. And the Cowboys take the lead here, 14-7 in the first. Aubrey now to kick this one away. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. So the Broncos headed out for their second drive of the game. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. As a man, that's Cortland Sutton. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. First run of the game for J.K. Dobbins. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession. Or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
They're set up at the 35 now. Nix with it on 1st. Brought in by Vele. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 38. And he's going to be touched down a yard shy of that marker.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
3rd and a lone yard coming up. Going for the first with Dobbins. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs. So that connection for a first will bring us to the end of the first. Neither side separating much so far. We'll get you back to Mile High after this. We're back, and it is Broncos football as we resume. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Again, they'll run with Dobbins. And he hit a seam and got it to the opposing 44. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Running it again with Dobbins. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. That's a short gain of 1. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
You know what I love about that play call? It was simple. Nobody overthinking on the sideline or out on the field. Just an offense going to work and moving those chains.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. This time it's a passing play. And this throw's knocked away, incomplete. Cortland Sutton, the man he was after. So it's 2nd down coming up.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Throwing here, Nix. The throw finds Evan Ingram. And he's a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before going out. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. Nice run across the 15. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I love these inside runs. Don't get away from them. You never know. You think it's going to be a short little gain, and then boom, get the right blocking, a possessed running back, and you get some serious yards on the table.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And like an empty wrapper, he just throws that one away. So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Catch is made in close. They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Here's Nix. Ooh, that looked like a pick for a second, but it hits the end zone grass. They are very fortunate to get this one back, but now they've got 4th down.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, well, he just couldn't quite hang on.
Bertolet able to knock it through. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Fielded just shy of the end zone. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Cowboys returning their offense and this running back to the field. And we'll see if the perfect start can continue as they try for their 3rd touchdown in 3 drives. Throwing on first is Prescott. It's taken in by Lamb. And he's going to be out of bounds just before reaching the 30.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Dak off the play fake. Finds him on the crossing route. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
1st and 10, Prescott. Sir, pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Another try following the sack. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
They'll come up 1st and 10. First down, here's Dak. And he's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Dallas! The Cowboys now lead by 10. C.D. Lamb with the touchdown. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups, and when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Cowboys drive their lead to 11. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Marvin Mims now to return it. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. Denver ready for another offensive possession. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
He easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a first down pickup.
Just one play into this drive, and they're already sitting on their own 45. Going to the ground again on first. He's up again! And they'll finally get him at the 35-yard line. It's a 21-yard gain. And the Broncos will have a first down.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, well, let's give them a little love right here, Kate. They don't always get the attention they deserve on the broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
They're set up at the 35 now. Handoff now from the gun. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2.
Kate, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Here's Nix to throw. Little off-center. His man just couldn't adjust to it.
Hey, I know nobody's perfect, and all you have to do is listen to me and how many words I screw up. But you certainly expect those throws of that length to be 100%. They've got to be borderline automatic in this offense.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Nix from the gun. Short pass brought in. And he takes it across the 30 before heading out.
Awareness. You've got to be aware. Play caller, quarterback, receiver have to be aware of where the sticks are. That route just not enough, not deep enough to extend the drive and move the chains.
Will Lutz getting the call on fourth down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. It's from the right hash, 46 yards. Bertolet able to knock it through. And that brings the deficit back within a score, 8 points.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. The Cowboys and quarterback Dak Prescott ready to get back to work. And eventually, Brock, one of their drives is going to fail to reach that end zone. But through 3 possessions so far, they have been perfect.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, somebody somewhere on this defense has got to rise to the occasion.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. Dak now from the gun. Completed to his running back. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Here's Prescott, 1st and 10. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. It looks like he came down on that sideline. 2nd down coming up.
You know, that's one you watch the next day, Kate, you're just bummed. As a QB, you're a perfectionist. And when it's caught but out of bounds, you know it could have been just a little bit more accurate on your end.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Dak throwing again. Big catch made, and he got both feet in. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Another throw for Prescott. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. He's got it deep downfield. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys grow their lead just before halftime. George Pickens the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. And that, Brock, I know you're keeping track, but just in case our audience isn't, his 4th first-half passing touchdown. At the pace he's on, this would be a new record if he has a 2nd half to match this one. For the point after, here's Aubrey. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Cowboys lead by 15 now. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Return coming here from the 12. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. The Broncos are getting the ball back as J.K. Dobbins runs out there. 1st and 10 now from the 30. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. Hitting Ingram on the slant. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Broncos have to hurry here. Clock still running. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. He put some juice on a deep throw down the middle.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Shotgun snap to Nix. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. They'll throw again, Nix. And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete, 4th down coming up.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Here comes the Broncos punting unit. Cavante Turpin on the return for the Cowboys. And he drives it skyward, hoping to drop this near the goal line. And a fair catch made here at the 17. The Cowboys ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And last drive, he reached one of those numbers that everyone looks at as a benchmark after the season ends, Brock. Quite the year that he's put together finding the end zone. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
One of the big lessons you learn transitioning from college to the NFL is you can't get it all back at once, offensively or defensively. But this is the right way to go about it now defensively. You got to get a sack. You got to get something going to stem this momentum, and that might just be the sack they needed.
Offense to the line for second down. Looks like that last play convinces them to keep this one on the ground. And he stopped on a nice gain on what is the final play of this first half. So we've arrived at halftime with the Cowboys enjoying a lead on the road. Now we'll send things over to Orlando, Florida. Jonathan Coachman on standby, ready to deliver the EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Kate, sit tight. We'll get back to you and Brock in just a moment. But for now, this is our halftime report. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we are back and about set to begin the second half. He'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Broncos with their offense headed out for our first possession of the half. And some opening drive points would be invaluable, Brock, trailing by 2 scores as they leave that locker room. Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 23. Dumped off to his running back. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get him enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Nix with it on first. Complete. It's Ingram. And that's good for a gain of 5. Malik Hooker with the tackle.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Nix now to throw. Brought in by Vele. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Give him 24 on that play. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Throwing on first down, Nix. To his back, J.K. Dobbins. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Tackle made by Trayvon Diggs.
Kid, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. But one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
From the 27. This is hauled in by Ingram. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. And he's able to bring this one down to the 4-yard line. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Hey, don't get me wrong, Kate. Every defensive guy, they watch tape in their own ways. But linebackers, well, they're a little bit like quarterbacks. They got to develop that sixth sense by watching that tape so they can diagnose and get home in a hurry like he just did.
On 3rd down, here's Nix. And he'll score. Touchdown, Denver! The Broncos cut into the lead coming out of halftime. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Brock. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
Extra point try now from Lutz. The point after splits the uprights. And the Broncos get it back to within 1 score. Well, he certainly went all out for that block. Didn't find the football, but he did find the punter. And the roughing call keeps that offense out there with a new set of downs. All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. The visitors headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And our team in the truck putting these highlights together, well, they certainly had plenty of touchdowns to choose from. 4 of them, actually. Though the way he's been playing, Brock, you cannot count on him being done reaching that end zone just yet. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Prescott. Ferguson's got it, complete. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. Dre Greenlaw getting there for the stop.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
2nd and 8. That's Pickens with a catch outright. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Hey, look, in the right situation, you catch a team off guard. Well, this could be a tremendous play for some big yards. But in the wrong situation, you get hit in the mouth right behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Got the one-on-one they wanted, Brock, on that slant, but just not enough to get the completion.
Yeah, you got to create separation. We all love the slant route. It could be super effective, but you got to beat press. You got to beat jam. You got to beat off man, and you got to create separation so there's not that bang-bang impact to knock the ball loose like that.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Send everybody deep. I know he wants to wait and stretch the field and use his arm. The trouble is, you wait too long, you end up on your back.
Cowboys punting it away here on 4th, and it's the long-time vet Brian Angeron now. And plenty of hang time on this one. He takes the fair catch at about the 26-yard line. The Broncos back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Donovan Wilson getting there for the stop. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
From the 33 on 2nd down. Oh, the football's loose. And no turnover. It's going to stay with the offense. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
We all saw the brief moment of full-on panic between the ball coming out and him getting back on it. The impressive part is he kept his composure while it was still loose. One mistake didn't become 2, and he cleaned it up before any defenders could.
Now Nick's on 3rd down. Complete speed. We've got a fumble pretty close to midfield. And it's a turnover. The defense has it.
You know what separates good defenses from great? Good defenses find a way to get off the field. Great defenses find a way to take the ball away. What a great play to set their offense up with some mojo.
Offense headed back out there now for Dallas. They've certainly had no issue scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. First down, here's Dak. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
They're set up at the 35 now. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's got a nice run. That reaches the 26. The rookie from Texas there on the tackle.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
2nd and 1. That throw finds Pickens. And he's going to be out of bounds right along the 20. He gets 6 on that play. And that's good for a Cowboys 1st down.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Here's Prescott, 1st and 10. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That's now a handful of sacks for the defense and a handful of bruises for the quarterback. Consider this, Kate. Truly elite defenses in this league, well, they average just over 3 sacks a game during an entire season. You put up 5 in a contest, you're playing like one of the league's best.
3 quarters in the books from this one. The Cowboys have it with a lead, but the win's not secure just yet. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Option give here. And he's going to take this down inside the 25 before being stopped. They'll get 6 on the run, but still need twice that now. 3rd and 12 coming up.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Prescott now on 3rd down. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
So a big kick coming up for Brandon Aubrey. This a 39-yarder from the left hash. Gay's kick is good. And it's now a 2-possession game as the lead grows to 11.
It doesn't take a math major, Kate, to realize how important that field goal was. It's now a 2-score game really late and puts them in the driver's seat to go and finish this thing with the win.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. He'll begin his return from the 11. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. The Broncos running their offense out once again. And their defense held up after that fumble. Only gave up 3, so time for this offense to make it up to them. Get some points of their own. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Nix from the gun. Into traffic, complete. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Well, the odds aren't great when you throw into double coverage. Normally you see one of the defenders make a play on the ball. 2 men nearby, and that's a missed opportunity for the coverage to make an impact play.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Cut by Sutton. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. A give to Dobbins out of the shotgun. And he gets some good yardage down to the 42. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15+ at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Running for the marker on 2nd. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Here's Nix. Mims with the grab. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They got 24 yards on the play. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
Man, I love that effort, adding as much as possible to that catch while earning the 1st down. That's called yards after catch, and it's what coaches want from all their pass catchers on the roster.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. Completed to Sutton. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
Time and again, receivers will tell their quarterbacks, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Just throw it up and give me the opportunity. Well, in this case, with even 2 defenders trying to cover that wide receiver, couldn't get it done.
They'll throw again. Nix gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
Ooh, that looked like a pick for a second, but it hits the end zone grass. They are very fortunate to get this one back, but now they've got 4th down.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up. Unfortunately, he just couldn't quite hang on.
Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And it pulls them back within 1 score here in the 4th.
This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Turpin with a return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The visitors are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play. But they will take that execution every time.
First and 10, Prescott. This ball's caught by Pickens. And this one doesn't go far.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Lone back gets the handoff. And that hit stops him in his tracks. No gain on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 7.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, and they got a tackle behind the line, but a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. He's back to throw. He's on the move. He's running for it. That one hits for 30. And it'll be 1st down, Dallas. That brings us to the 2-minute warning here in Denver. Cowboys leading by 8. So the big play has them well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Here's the one back on the handoff. And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. No surprises here. Defense quick to stop that clock. We've got 1:53 left in this game. Second and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Oh, they're going to run the option to the short side. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. Now the Broncos take their 3rd and final timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the 1st. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
Second down, probably going to see him kneel it again here. He gets it headed right. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. Give him 2 yards on the run, and that leaves them just inches short for third down.
An offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to first down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on a 3rd and short.
He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So a big kick coming up for Brandon Aubrey. Angling this one in from the right hash, the challenge here. Gay's kick is good. And it's now a 2-possession game as the lead grows to 11. So the Cowboys come in and take this one on the road. And it was a game for fans of high-scoring football, wasn't it? I know Brock was enjoying seeing both of these offenses work, and really not a lot to dislike from either group. Just one side working at a slightly better clip than the other. That was the difference in the win. So for Brock Heward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. The Cowboys are winners, as we'll see you next time from Denver.